If you've managed to avoid all analyses and spoilers of this film, then you're about to witness the best Chinese crime suspense film of the past decade. This is the only movie where evil triumphs over justice. By the end, even the child's body remains unfound. If you don't watch until the very end, you'll never guess who the killer is. Don't believe me? Try it yourself. I'm a mute who cannot speak, yet everyone in the village fears me. Because in my youth, I got into a fight and bit off my own tongue. Since then, my fists, symbols of violence, became my only voice. While the entire village was drowning in greed, dreaming of wealth from every new construction and the coming demolitions, I was the only one who refused to sign the papers. Because over the years, I had seen with my own eyes how Boss May and his cronies, greedy and full-bellied, secretly drilled a 1,000-meter deep well to dump heavy metal-laden wastewater underground, all just to cut costs. The village head who colluded with them had his house stocked with bottled water, but my wife, she couldn't even get a sip of clean water. Many villagers fell ill, confined to bed with chronic diseases, but for money, they chose to forget all of it. I became a pariah, a monster in their eyes. A scapegoat on their path to vengeance. They tried threats, sent a butcher to intimidate me. You drank the wine, you ate the meat. You're not leaving here until this gets settled. But I feared neither threats nor violence. The butcher poured beer all over my face. My eyes burned and I couldn't see. In my blind struggle, I grabbed something, anything, and stabbed wildly. Blood sprayed all over me. The butcher lost an eye, and I was left buried under crushing medical debts. I only wanted to go far away, find work to pay it back. But then, while fighting with co-workers at a construction site, a man from my village said, "Your son is missing." I rushed home like a madman. The first person I suspected, of course, was the butcher. Sure enough, as I stepped into his shop, I heard the sound of a child crying from his bedroom. I thought it was my son, Lazy. Ignoring his wife's protests, I stormed in, only to find a child wearing an Ultraman mask. I ripped off the mask, and it was just the butcher's mentally disabled son. I awkwardly handed the mask back. At home, my wife wept and recounted every detail of our son's disappearance. I stared out the window in silence. I had made too many enemies over the years. I didn't even know where to begin. In the end, I called his school. No one picked up. The staff were too busy preparing for a visit from an important guest. Boss Kang, a wealthy mining mogul, had just gotten into big trouble. Reported for illegal mining. Thanks to lawyer Xu Wenjie's false testimony, he escaped punishment. But the public backlash online only intensified. So he donated a large sum to a charity school to whitewash his image. He knew the village's water was undrinkable, so he bit into a tomato. Its bright red juice staining his luxury coat, like the blood of someone else. The way he dabbed at the stains was like covering up the traces of a murder. When the principal asked him to give a speech, he declined, changed into a humble-looking jacket, and staged a photo for the next day's newspaper. But his real life was anything but modest, a table full of lamb chops. And he was the only one eating. Across from him sat his arch-rival Mr. Li, the one who had probably reported him. One ate only meat, the other only vegetables, a visual metaphor for survival of the fittest. "Endure it, like a sheep," Boss Kang said. Li sensed the danger and stood up to leave, but Boss Kang wouldn't let him go. He clutched a bloodstained car key. Li realized he wasn't walking out of here today. Even though he pleaded his innocence, Kang knew he wasn't the whistleblower. But still, he forced a bowl of bloody lamb into the vegetarian's mouth. His real target wasn't Li. It was the mine Li owned. What Boss Kang didn't know was that one day, a mute man like me would use his fists to shatter his empire and send him to prison.